Should be recording now. Okay, guess I'll just get started. So yeah, I was just gonna do like a little weekly review, go over the price a bit this week. Of course, we had elections, and then if you guys have any questions, we'll do a little mini kind of Q&A, and then I'll kind of there's some stuff that I'll talk about regarding PSPs as well. So I'll cover some of that too. So yeah, this week it was election week, to be fair. So personally, I wasn't trading on Monday and Tuesday, and then I was trading from Wednesday onwards. So to start off with, which kind of gave this big run up kind of kick, was this monthly cycle sequential SMT. So this monthly cycle sequential SMT, basically what we could have used as our higher time frame sequential SMT for the whole week, and then it just blasted off price to all-time highs. So um, this is stage one, and we know that we need two stages at least, a two-stage cracking correlation before we look to take a trade. So what triggered this whole move was this daily cycle sequential SMT on Tuesday. So this was that kind of lower time frame SMT that we were looking for. Okay, I'll just keep going. So yeah, we see we had this SMT here between London and New York AM, which yeah, it kicked off this whole move, and then from there it was just we just kept going up, and each day it was pretty much just like a lower time frame SMT. What's it called? Confirming it. So we're just using this monthly cycle SMT the whole time, and the reason we didn't get a reversal is because we had nothing, no SMTs opposing it of an equal magnitude. So what I mean by that is, um, we understand that different cycles have different levels of magnitude, or the higher time frames have higher power, as we learned. So by saying that, we kind of we understand that for this cycle to be trumped or kind of overpowered on the opposing side, we need something of an equal level of magnitude. So this is monthly cycle. We need something, or like a monthly cycle on the highs, to treat it like a magneto and go lower. And we didn't end up getting that. We took previous week high on all assets, and that's why there's nothing stopping us from going to all-time highs. So yeah, I mean, as I was saying, we with this higher time frame SMT, which was stage one, and then we confirmed it on Tuesday with this daily cycle one, which kind of sent this whole move up. And then, as what I was saying before I restarted the Discord, is that the reason we had no reversal in price to kind of use this as a magneto is because we know that different cycles or different time frames have different levels of power. So we say that a higher time frame has higher power, right? That's what we learn. That's what ICT kind of teaches. So if we apply that to these cycles, we have a monthly cycle here. We need something of an equal magnitude or level of power to trump this one, to treat it as a magneto and go lower. And because we took previous week high on all assets and we had no SMT here, that's why we had no reversal and we didn't go lower. So we just kept going up higher to all-time highs. Okay. So that's kind of this week. Yeah, I'll do I guess I'll do questions now. Does anyone have any questions on that regarding this week? Because yeah, I mean this week was just straight up. So for higher time frame. So for me, um, higher time frame wise, higher time frame ST would be either the monthly cycle or weekly cycle. So this is higher time frame, and then a lower time frame would be the daily cycle or 90 minutes. So I don't really care about microcycles. I don't really care about yearly cycle because we're just trading intraday. I'm not trying to catch long-term moves. So what I'm focusing on is these. Equal, yeah. Okay, so to put it simpler, to put it easier, we can kind of say let's assign numbers to each cycle. So you guys see sometimes how in my kind of trade breakdowns on the SMT, there's numbers, not words. So we could say, for example, number 4 equals a monthly cycle, 3 equals a weekly cycle, 2 equals daily cycle, and 1 equals 9 minutes. So these 4 numbers corresponding to each cycle. So monthly cycle is going to be the most powerful, so that's number 4, and then down to 90-minute where it's just kind of power of 1. Now for us to reverse, we need a number equal or greater on the other side to oppose that. So what that might look like here is, for example, here this was 4 and this was 2, the daily cycle here. So that's 6, right? We need at least a number of 6 on the other side to reverse this. And we didn't. I think we might have had I think there was a weekly cycle on Wednesday or daily cycle which gave us this little move down. So that's what, a 2 and a 3. That's 5. So 6 on the lows, 5 on the top, which is why we had this only a little retracement before going higher. There wasn't a number 6 to oppose this move down here. So that's why we kept going higher. And you can do that just simply assigning numbers to each SMT and then just adding it up, and yeah, that's how you can gauge whether you're going to get a true reversal or just a retracement. So if there was just a equal if there was just a daily cycle here, that's only a 2. It's not enough to oppose this. So you might get a small retracement, maybe maybe like this, for example. But then the true move will be bullish because this isn't enough to oppose this. What's the sync use, for example, daily cycle? So just the same time frame. So for my understanding is just daily cycle, like for the daily cycle we use a 15-minute chart, so I'm looking for a 15-minute PSP. And then for example, monthly cycle we use a 4-hour and then a 4-hour PSP. So yeah, TPD. So yeah, that's what he calls TPD. It's got a weird name, trunky pengu divergence. But yeah, that's basically what we're talking about there. The divergence between the candles to the side of to the side of a PSP. Cool. Has anyone got any other questions on that? Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't pay attention to it too much personally, but I mean it's just extra confidence. Cool. But yeah, has anyone got any questions on what I've told so far? Or are we all good? We all good? Then I will talk a little bit about PSPs. I'll kind of talk about that. Okay. Okay, so getting into kind of free closing. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so do we all know what PSPs are, right? We all kind of understand how they work, how they can confirm my SMTs, what they look like, and how the wicks act as gaps and stuff. Cool. So we have that. So we have that kind of basic understanding of PSPs. So let's talk about a couple other ways to use them. So, for example, I think I spoke about precision breakers in the YouTube video. So I'm not sure if you guys have watched that, but that's just when we have a breaker block that's also PSP. It's a higher probability um, breaker. Then we have something called precision true opens, which is essentially, well, it's pretty you can pretty yeah, it's pretty easy to figure out what that is. It's just the candle of a true open. There's also a precision candle or PSP, and that is just it's a higher probability true open. So that's another thing. And then there's I'm talking about the 15-minute PSP. 15-minute PSP has a lot of significance. So it can reverse price on its own. So Day's one shot one kill model is this. It's the weekly cycle SMT to the daily cycle with a 15-minute PSP. This is essentially his one shot one kill because of how significant the 15-minute PSP is. See, in the majority of my trades, I want a 15-minute PSP, and in particular, we want 15-minute PSPs around 9:30. I found those are the most high probability PSPs. So around 9:30 New York AM, that's when we're gonna have higher probability 15-minute PSPs. So for example, if 9:30 manipulates higher and that becomes a PSP, we can expect price to distribute lower. So you can put your stop at the top of that 9:30 candle, and then you can expect to not get stopped up. So we have this 15-minute PSP, which is very significant. Um, Another thing is so fractal PSPs. There's something called fractal PSPs. These are real PSPs. So when a PSP is fractal, that's that's when it's a real PSP. So what I mean by that is we could have a higher time frame PSP, we could have a 4 hour PSP, and inside of that, a 1 hour, or we have a 15-minute PSP, and inside of that we have another 5 minute one. That's a real precision swing point. It's a lot higher probability, and that's when it's gonna work. Does that all make sense to you guys? All good. Cool. Yeah. Yesterday's PSP. Yesterday, yeah, we had it was a 15-minute PSP and a 5 minute PSP. So that was a fractal PSP. I mean, yesterday was pretty horrible. We had this huge move, so it just didn't do much for us. We did have this move lower or somewhere in there. With that. And yeah, of course, that's fractal as well, so it can be applied to any time frame. So 4 hour to 1 hour or whatever. Another thing is that I haven't really talked about. So PSPs they hold a lot of liquidity under them. So we know that unsymmetrical highs and lows. So essentially, where there's SMT, there's a lot of liquidity there. So when we have an SMT of equal or greater magnitude, that's when we get the magneto, and that's when we use the old SMT as drawing liquidity because of how much liquidity they have. But precision swing points also have a lot of liquidity, and that's why, as a drawn liquidity, rather than targeting just any high or low, you could be targeting PSPs as your drawn liquidity. So that's another kind of way that you can exit trades. It's when we kind of trade into PSP. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. And I think I'm just going to talk about real. So we have, well, yeah, we have premium and discount, right? We have premium and discount. We just draw from, it's just a range, right? It's discount, premium. A real, a real kind of range that we should be using is from a precision swing point to a precision swing point. So say if we have this, um, say if we have here, um, and this is PSP. My understanding is that this we should be using our kind of equilibrium or drawing our range from a precision swing point to a precision swing point. And that's going to be the kind of range that we want to be using. And then of course we can trade back to this, whatever. So that's my understanding of it, is that we can use our ranges from precision swing points. Of course, don't just take my word for it, back test it, see how it works. But yeah, that's my that's that's another thing to do with PSPs. Um, I'm not sure if I'd say yeah, it probably is stronger if you combine both. So you're talking about using the previous higher time frame cycles quarter. So from the daily cycle, we use the previous day. That's the higher time frame cycles previous quarter. So that's yeah, that's one way of drawing your, or how you should be drawing your premium and discount. But I think combining it with precision swing points will be even higher probability. So in terms of if it's stronger, I would say I would say yes. I think it is probably stronger, but that's something, of course, to backtest. So I would backtest that. But yeah, so that's another thing. So we want to be drawing our range here. So yeah, just that's yeah, cool. So yeah, just quickly cover what we've done already. We have a 50 minute PSP, which you should hold a lot of significance on. This has they're very powerful. You know, they reverse price on its own, and you can backtest that. You can go on a 15 minute chart, have a look at 50 minute PSPs, and see kind of how powerful they are. So if I have a look now, just got to 15 minute. So PSP here, nothing here. So yeah, this candle here, 12 a.m. This is a PSP. Reversing here. 50, yeah, 15 minute PSPs are very good. This was a 15 minute PSP. This candle here, and you can see there's this little SMT here. There's this daily cycle SMT here, but that on its own, without a higher time frame one, is reversing price. Maybe over here as well. This one. So yeah, just backtest it. Can't find any good examples at the moment, but yeah, I would recommend backtesting that. Here we go. So this is another 15 minute PSP. We have no SMT here, but we have this 15 minute PSP reversing price. Trade into the wick. and go lower. Cool. How do I say TPD? The missing piece. What do you missing piece of what the middle time frame? Missing piece. Uh, I mean, I think are you talking about how we skip a cycle when kind of going lower to find the lower time frames controsity? So monthly to daily or weekly to 90 minutes. Is that what we're talking about, or what's a TPD? Yeah, I'll go over that in a second. Yeah, ICT is always saying, oh, the 15-minute chart. You always see people say, oh, 15-minute charts, most powerful, whatever. I doubt they know about 15-minute PSPs, but yeah, the 15-minute time frame is very good. Um, yeah, our TPD. So we know we have, so for example, draw, this would be, draw PSP quickly. So this is a PSP, right? It's a swing point, and we have the candle in the middle, closing different. This is a PSP. You see here that, for example, we have the close of the first candle, and then the open of the third one, right? So bullish candle closes here. Third candle is bearish, it opens here. Close of this candle, open of this one. So this is symmetrical. This, right? TPD is so what TPD is. It's a divergence between the close of the first and open of the third. So what it would look like is this. So it's a PSP, but then with a divergence between the the open, well, the close of the first candle and open of the third. It's basically a higher probability PSP. So it stands for chunky pengu divergence. No idea why it's called that, but that's what TPD is. So it's this, and it's pretty powerful, I would say. And but yeah, don't take my word for it. Backtest it. The best teacher is the charts. Like they're never gonna, it's not gonna lie to you. So yeah, that's TPD, chunky pengu divergence, and I believe it's a guy called Mammoth or Jacob. That's kind of his thing, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, actually, it might be chunky and pengu. I think I did see the reason for it somewhere, but like a while ago, but I've completely forgot what the what it is. Yeah, yeah, penguin. Yeah, they had this thing called the zoo. I'm pretty sure they've all broken up now, or like split off. But yeah, there's a thing called the zoo, and that's why everyone has these kind of animal names and stuff like that, like mammoth and whatever. It's kind of like a cult or something like that. But I'm not really sure. I wasn't really into Quaterly Fury and that when that whole thing was going on. Yeah, the what's it called? Triad indicator. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. There's a guy called Emka that coded that, and it's great. It's a really good indicator. I don't use it, but I tried it once. And it was pretty nice. It just marks out everything. It's good for backtesting. But yeah, cool. So just to recap on the what's it called? I think what's it called? I'll check for you. What is the indicator called? I think you do have to pay for it. I think it's a paid thing, so you have to pay for access. I think it's what's it called? It's like a QT profiler or something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a good it's a good indicator. It was made for like back testing. Yeah, it was made for back testing. So like you don't have to keep looking, find the SMTs and stuff. It just marks it all out on one chart. It's a lot easier to use. But yeah, cool. So yeah, just quickly recap. We've got 15-minute PSP, very important. I recommend incorporating that into your model, but you don't have to. I mean, it's just gonna that's extra confluence, but it's something that I would want to see. And we have kind of two opens that are PSPs. So with the corresponding time frame. So 2 month open is no 2 week open is a 4 hour. True day is a one hour. True session is 15 minute, I think, something like that. But yeah, with the right time frame, when it's a PSP, um, it's a high time frame one. So it's the yeah, I think let me just quickly check. So we have different. So true week open says. I'm not sure if these are correct. This is what he mentioned earlier on. Actually, let me just quickly double check my notes. Uh, so I believe. Here we go. So true year open we use a weekly time frame. These are just for true open, so they're not for looking at the cycle. As far as I'm concerned, daily time frame. True week open is a 4 hour time frame. True day open would be the 1 hour time frame. True session is it's a 5 or 15. It's one of those, but we don't need that. I think they should change it to what we. Yeah, well, I think he was talking about true opens with these. Of course, we know that like yearly cycle is the what's yearly cycle? Monthly cycle is 4 hour. Yearly cycle would be the weekly time frame. Yearly cycle is the weekly time frame. Monthly cycle is the 4 hour time frame. Weekly cycle is the 1 hour time frame, and then daily cycle is the 15-minute time frame. So we know this, but that's for the cycles. But I'm not sure if this is still correct for true opens. But I do remember someone saying or hearing that it's been changed. But yeah, and then we have the quarterly cycle, which I thought was the daily time frame, but I was then corrected by what was his name? Platypus. That's actually the 6 hour time frame, apparently. Um, yeah. So those are the time frames for the cycles. So yeah, 15-minute PSP precision true opens with a lot of liquidity under precision swing points, so we can use them as good draws on liquidity. And then we have these fractal PSPs, which are the real PSPs. And yeah, we want to draw our ranges from PSP to PSP. But honestly, this is just some more in-depth stuff. You really don't need to be like using these. Like I don't pay attention to precision true opens like when I'm actually trying to look for trades. I don't really use this too much. But yeah, cool. Let's get rid of these. That was I think that was pretty much what I was gonna cover. So that's that little PSP tool I wanted to do. Just some additional info. Did that kind of weekly review. Is not much to talk about this week. Hopefully next week will be good. We do CPI here on Wednesday, which will be fun. We do bank holiday on Monday, so I wouldn't be trading if I were you. Um, yeah, if anyone's got more questions, then I can answer those. But other than that, I can quickly talk about next week. Um, next week might just be a consolidation. To be honest, CPI actually might not do much. If we're using that whole, I mean, I don't use it anymore, but the profiles, so the AMD X AMD. This week we've had such a big move up. We've had a what over a 1,000 point move in a week. So I mean, it might just chop around next week. CPI might just not do anything at all. So be ready for that as well. And then hopefully after that we'll be good. We've got nothing. Oh, it's a horrible month in terms of news. It's just nothing going on after next week. But hopefully December will be good. Madrid, yeah, they score. Yeah, has anyone got any more questions on just anything that I've covered today or just in general? Are we all good? Are we all good? Yes, I mean for next week, I was talking about how we need something of opposing magnitude to reverse price lower. So I'll be looking to see if we get a monthly cycle with this week's high. I'm not sure how likely that will be. If we don't get that, and we end up taking previous week high on all of the assets, then I wouldn't want to see this yet. I don't think we're going to get monthly cycle. I've got a feeling that we won't have monthly cycle SMT next week, so I wouldn't be expecting this. I'm probably just going to chop around. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the new week opening gaps and stuff. We may end up trying to reach for these ones here with CPI at the most, but yeah, we can expect our high or low of the week. I mean, probably on Wednesday or Thursday. That's what we're gonna have our focus on. That 1 hour TPD only was for the 8 today. In terms of what we 1 hour TPD, I know that the 4 hour TPD, the best one is 2-6-10. So 2 hours, 6 hour, 2 a.m., 6 a.m., 10 a.m. That's the 4 hour TPD. That we'd be paying attention to. 1 hour TPD, I guess 8, 9, 10 would be good. Of course, that's going to be that time, like window is the highest time frame, the highest time, what's it called, window of the day. So if 9 to 10:30, that's the highest probability time to trade in a day. So that would make sense. 8, 9, and 10. That would be a pretty powerful TPD. So I'll try and find one. So look, so we swing point at 9 a.m. Here. So look, is that bearish? Oh, here we go. So we have, this is a PSP. This whole candle is a PSP here. It's 9 a.m. Close of this one is here. And the open is here. So we don't have, this is not TPD, it's just a PSP. Only use 1 hour, 4 hour TPD. Yeah, I guess for trading intraday, the 4 hour one's going to be difficult. I'd probably use that more for bias, but I'd probably focus on the 8, 9, and 10 TPD. Let's have a look here. Okay, so we have 8, 9, 10 here. This is a precision candle. Oh, it's 8. Oh, no, never mind. 8, 9, 10, 9 a.m. PSPs. What time is this? Here we go. So let's see if this is a PSP. No, no PSP here. Yeah, just backtest it. I mean, yeah, it's the best way to know if something's right or not. It's just to look at it in your charts. Can't find it. Nothing really. Oh, maybe this. So here, YM. The PSP is 9 a.m. candle. YM is a PSP. And then we have the close of this candle open here. Close of this candle here. Let's have a look here. The close of this candle. So that's not a TPD either. If you trade assets, I don't take liquidity ones. I only trade NQ. So I'll only ever execute on NQ. Just because that's what I prefer. I prefer how it moves. It's just easier for me to work out like how much I'm risking and stuff. It's just I can do it faster. So I just prefer NQ. So I never execute on yes. Yeah. Cool. Right. Is there any more questions on anything or were you good? I guess that's basically wraps it up. Yeah, and I guess in terms of future sessions, I want to try to do these kind of Q&A, this kind of stuff at least twice a month, and then in the weeks I don't do it, maybe like a more in-depth weekly review or backtesting session, kind of go over some stuff, just do Q&As and stuff. So that's what I kind of plan to do in the future. If anyone's got any recommendations or things they want to do, then yeah, just let me know. Can try and do that. But yeah, other than that, it's just I'll be doing these weekly reviews every week. Or yeah, if there's a week that I can't do it, I'll do it a Saturday every Saturday. But if there's a Saturday I can't do it, I'll move it to a Sunday or whatever, or a Friday, and if people can't make that, I'll be recording it anyway. So cool. Yeah, I guess that's it for today. Was that all fine? Did everyone kind of learn something or take something away from that? Cool. All right. Great. And yeah, I'll post it sometime today. I'll probably just do it now or in the next hour or two. I'll get the recording up. I mean, I'll probably just put it in. I could put it on what actually. I don't. I'll have to search up how to do that. But if I can't figure out how to do it on what, then there's like a little recordings part in the Discord. So I'll probably just post it in there. If I can't fill it, I'll put it as a private video or something on YouTube, or I'll just put it in like a Google Drive so people can do that. So look at it there. So cool. All right. I'll talk to you guys next weekend again, and then yeah, I won't be training on Monday, and it's unlikely I'll be training on Tuesday, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, all right, guys, have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll talk yeah next weekend. Cool. All right.